What is up, guys? Welcome back to Life from There. So hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to be talking about a company that has been super nice over Instagram to us, and I want to make sure that they actually get some recognition from us, because most of the time when you have a watch company, you are a little bit more distant from your from the general population of your clients, and this watch company has been super nice supporting this channel, but also our Instagram page. And we've had some really great conversations about watches. So I wanted to actually just bring to light this watch company. It's called Alsta Watch Company. They have a very interesting history, so I thought I would talk to you a little bit about the history of it, and then give you kind of some information about the interactions we've had. So that's going to be the topic for today. Angus, if you are watching this, I just want to say thank you for supporting the channel, but also for resurrecting this absolutely beautiful company. So, Alsta Watches is actually a watch manufacturer that produced mechanical watches during the 60s and 70s, and these watches were extremely tool looking. I think that the focus was to create a watch that was relatively robust, something that you could kind of bang around a little bit, and they had a very classic 60s and 70s shape where they have a round dial, but the case is a little bit more squared. This is very classic of many watches that were produced during this time. For example, my memo sale was started being produced in the 70s, and you can get some of the memo sales that have very similar shapes to these watches. So produced watches during the 60s and 70s, and they had one model that was actually relatively famous, which was the Nautoscaph, and this one was actually seen on Richard Dreyfuss's wrist in the movie Jaws, where he played Matt Hooper. And so this really brought this watch company to life with many people who were watching this film. I would say that this film was quite revolutionary for the time, and I think having this watch on the wrist really did bring to light the watch. I will say maybe watch enthusiasts didn't really notice it. It was just something that he was wearing. But I know now, being that we all are watch enthusiasts, we definitely noticed watches on people's wrists, and this is the watch that was seen there. So in the 60s and 70s was when when this company was kind of around. Like many companies, they were hit when the quartz crisis happened. If you don't know about the quartz crisis, this was essentially when quartz watch movements began to be manufactured and could be sold for a lot cheaper than mechanical timepieces. Also, they were considered more accurate than mechanical pieces, so people really wanted to buy buy watches with quartz movement in it. So mechanical watches had been affected by this. They actually survived the majority of the quartz crisis, where many watch companies ended up going under, but finally in 1982 they kind of succumbed to it and had to close their doors. But in 2014, which is kind of where we are now, in the modern era, the watch manufacturer was actually relaunched. It was relaunched by Angus McFadden, who I believe is from Scotland. And he relaunched this brand, and the first watch that he ended up producing was the Nautoscaph II, which was obviously a tribute to the first watch that really brought Alsta to the forefront of people's minds, and it really did a very good job of doing exactly that. On the website, they kind of described the ethos of their brand, which I think is bringing historically what the ethos of their brand was forward. And one of the things that they describe is that it's an independent-minded ethos that comes with this company, and I think that's really shown by some of these watches. They describe it as these watches are for people who are driven, motivated, adventurous, and seeking experiences. And I think this watch allows you to do that. Being that it's a little bit more of a tooly watch, it's described as being a little bit more robust. Many have great water resistance. Because of all of that, you can really go through experiences and seek adventure and go diving and hiking, and you can wear this watch and not really worry about it being banged up as much. The Nautoscaph II, like I said, was an iteration off of the first version of this watch. That we Alsta actually increased the diameter of the watch from 36 millimeters on the original to 40 millimeters, which I think is a little bit more of a contemporary size, but doesn't go too far where it's garishly big on your wrist. This watch has a steel case with screw down crown, has really nice finishing on the crown, which I think those types of details are sometimes lost with watches, but it's very, very cool that you can see it. And this one has a black dial, super luminova markers as well as on the hours, and beautiful sword hands, which I really, really like. It has 300 meters of water resistance, which is great. These watches are all put together in Switzerland and in I believe Germany was the other place, but I believe they're all put together in Switzerland. The watch runs off of the NH35A movement, which is from Seiko, so they are using a Seiko movement, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Seiko movement. These watches are going to get the job done, and I think that's why this movement is so great for this one. I don't have this watch in my possession, so I can't really give you a full review on it, but I kind of wanted to describe the watch a little bit to you. They have made some more watches under this name. For example, like I said, the Alsta Nautoscaph II was their first. They also made a third version of this, which iterates a little bit on the case metal. I think it has a little bit more of a PVD finish on it. Nonetheless, it's really, really beautiful. I really like the bezel, actually. It looks like it's going to be quite a solid one. They also made the Alsta Surf and Ski, which has this kind of nice little cream outer ring to it, but has that PVD looking finish to it, which I really like. And then I think their most recent is the Nautoscaph Super Automatic. There's a limited amount of pieces that were made of this. There are 1,975 pieces that are made of this watch. This watch, like I said, is very, very typical of the 60s, 70s, where it's got a round dial, but it has almost like a cushion form case. The bracelet is also really, really interesting. It looks like something that would have been built during this time. I can go a little bit more in depth into these watches in some other videos, but I kind of want to just give you an overview of this brand in general. So coming from a history of being seen on the wrists of an individual in the movie Jaws, to kind of now where they're kind of bringing to light those kind of aesthetics and tooly vibes with this watch. I really love it. I really love it. The reason why I wanted to discuss it was actually just because I've had some really great interactions on Instagram with this company. Angus has been super nice about saying, hey, great video. We've had some good conversations about, sometimes certain individuals will think lesser of movements that are like Seiko or Japanese movements, and say, oh, it's not manufactured in Switzerland, so why can you charge this much? I don't think that's really the point. I think you have to kind of open your mind a little bit more to being able to accept those types of movements. But no, I've had some really great conversations with him. He's been so supportive of the channel, and Angus, I just want to say thank you for all of your support. I hope that this video will at least bring to light to my viewers, if they don't know your company, expose them to your company, because I really think you are doing some great things with this company, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I will say, during this whole pandemic that's kind of gripping the world, I want to make sure that I'm actually bringing to light some smaller companies that are going to be this is going to have a much larger effect on smaller companies, and I want to make sure that I'm bringing to light companies that I think deserve the recognition for what they're doing within the watch industry, and I think Alsta Watches is that. I'll put a link in the description to this company so you can see their page, see their watches. They're really, really beautiful watches if you're into tool watches, so be sure to check those out. And again, Alsta Watches, thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope this is going to kind of support you along your journey, because I want to see you guys come through this pandemic, and I know you will, because I believe in your brand, and I'm sure you believe in your brand too. So yeah, that's what we've talked about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't do it in the beginning of the video, and I didn't actually say it this time, but be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like these types of videos. We create videos about watches, just about anything that you can think of, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to smash that like button for us. It really does help us out and get these videos to people who are interested in watches just like you are. Let me know in the comments what you think about this brand. I think it's really, really beautiful. They make some really beautiful watches, and if you are into tool watches, you gotta check them out. And with that said, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.